Shoot.
Oh,
This is Josh.
Hands
Hey,
up, don't
Josh.
shoot.
Hey, everybody. Welcome back to the Firing Pins weekly live stream. My name is Brandon.
I'm Pat.
I'm Josh.
And we got Brian over here on the producer board. We've got a bunch of stuff. We were away last week. We weren't here. It was Thanksgiving. Did everybody have a good Thanksgiving?
Oh,
Good.
amazing.
I
Great
smoked
holiday.
a turkey, and dare I say, it was better than my mom's turkey.
Oh! Ooh.
I heard. I heard.
Can you do that?
You can't unring that
Well-
bell now that you.
Ooh, man.
Sorry, Mom, but I think I got you beat on the turkey.
Wow.
My turkey was gone like instantly,
Yeah.
whilst her turkey still had some meat left afterwards.
People have spoken.
If you're watching,
They voted with their plates, I guess.
you gotta step up your game for next year.
Wow. Shots
Gonna
fired.
literally
Shots
shoot me.
fired.
She's gonna
Shots
shoot me later.
Fired.
But-
Wow. That is that's
Okay.
funny though.
I got
Yeah,
smoking,
it did look
so-
good. Yeah, it looked.
It was
you are-
awesome.
You
Good
are a connoisseur of
Meat.
just different
Josh loves
Just-
smoking meats.
any kind of meat just in the mouth.
Or around
yeah,
the vicinity.
Yeah.
Yeah.
love it.
Smoking meats.
Yeah, what else is going on? Josh and I called me up not too long ago, right after Thanksgiving. We went on a little pheasant and chuck our hunt.
Excursion. Yeah.
Pretty fun. Went on a little hunt. It was my first time pheasant hunting, and had a lot of fun.
Looked like
Took
you
the
guys did
pheasant.
well.
Yeah,
Took the pheasant V card.
yes, that was a lot of fun, and we got some fun items here at the store. We saw Cuomo. I don't know if we want to bring him up again. I don't really want to bring him up again, but you have seen the creeping Cuomo. I don't know what we call this, I guess, or what it's
I
called.
like,
Yeah,
I like
that's what
creeping
it's called.
Cuomo.
Creeping
That's-
Cuomo, right? He's climbing in your window. He's snatching your people up, right? We got these.
Mr. Steal Your Rights.
I like that. Just feel you're right. $10 here at the store, and these are high quality. This is 3M, genuine. This isn't the cheap stuff. Okay, it's 3M. That is
The mark of quality.
high resolution.
Oh, yeah.
Scary.
Like if you look at it, you can almost see the sweat beading upon his 5 head
He's just.
because it's bigger than a forehead.
It works.
100%.
It just works. Locally made though, right here in Batavia. So just helping out a local sticker shop. You're helping us out. It's tough. We can't get 9 mil, so let's make fun of the governor. What else can we do, right? This
Got to
is New
do
York.
something.
As a lot of you may have seen, this one's open. Let me show off this one. We have the calendar, the long-awaited, long-anticipated calendar. And let me tell you, these turned out amazing. I don't know why we haven't done this sooner.
Right.
Yeah, next year will be sexier for one.
We'll definitely have to do a safe for work and a not safe
An
for work
SFW.
calendar.
I like it.
I won't go through the whole thing because it doesn't do it justice. But obviously, I've teased this one before. I don't know how well
Mr.
people
January.
can see that.
Mr. January to the main stage.
New year
There we
coming
go.
in.
We'll just do the people that are here's. The people that are here's. So this one, April, Mr. April.
Yep.
Aw.
You guys have already seen those
Isn't that
photos. So
cute?
Just such a stud.
Because Pat's wife's name is April.
Oh, look, and right after
correct.
in May,
That goofy guy.
just look at that guy. Just
a goofy.
eat your heart out. Look at that. So we had some fun. We had a lot of fun with that. Oh, there's one more. Let's show off Mr. Tyler. Look at that. Turned out really well. We had some really cool training pictures from over the summer when you guys did just a little friends exercise out there
yeah, man.
at the P-Dubs. So yeah, that turned out super good. Do we have a Tyler update? I don't really have much.
Haven't had one since Thanksgiving about.
It's been like
but,
a week, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't have anything negative
Sure.
to report about him. So
No news would probably be good news.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know that he had to get moved,
Yeah.
up to the 7th floor, I think.
Hospital's filling up, so they needed more space, so they He's got a roommate now, which I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. Maybe it helps the time pass.
Yeah, he might enjoy that a lot more.
Please keep him in your thoughts. You know, he's
His roommate's a liberal.
I'm pretty sure. Yeah, guns are bad. Like a gunshot victim from like
He would troll. He would troll that
bad
the
example.
whole time, though.
Yeah.
He'd be like, "Oh yeah, I hate guns."
Oh yeah.
He would be the ultimate.
Let's both
troll.
donate to. I don't know who you donate to. Every town against
Moms
guns or what?
Demand
Yeah.
fully automatics.
Look.
Marianne says all is good with Tyler.
Nice. Yeah.
Cool.
I'm pretty sure he had his last of the surgeries and stuff. So he's just on that healing path, you know. So that'll be a while. Got one of his shirts. If you like this cool, let's overthrow your government. That's not a statement in any way. That's just, it's just a cool shirt that Tyler made.
For legal purposes, it's a joke.
Not our government, your government, just some governments,
A different government.
And what is that?
What
Looks
is
warm.
this?
Look at that.
It's not a babushka. It's still me. It's still me, Josh. Shannon has been slaving away
This corner over here. And
on
then scoop it around.
this blankie for Ty,
What?
and I cannot wait until
Take it a
he
little
gets to see it.
There you go. Look at
Can't
that.
wait. Pew is life. Hand-stitched, hand-knitted little blankie with a flintlock pistola on there for our boy Tyler.
Look
Shani,
at that.
my wife, knitted
Knit.
or crocheted.
Had knit.
It's one of those. She's going to yell at me later for getting it wrong. Knit or crocheted
How do you
this.
not know?
But I don't know what
Let
the
me ask you
difference
this:
is.
was she using needles or was she using little hooks?
I don't know. They all look the same.
Okay, fair.
They all look the same.
Josh is too busy out pheasant hunting. He has no idea what's going on.
Yeah.
What century do you
I
live in?
don't know.
She's crocheting, you're shooting birds, and the
Yeah.
what is
me.
going on?
That's me.
Just living
Raising
off the
chickens.
land.
There's a flintlock pistol on
Just
the
a
thing.
homesteading son of a bee.
Don't worry, we get you the internet sooner or later. And you figure it out.
Using
Shannon
harsh
says it's
vowels.
crochet.
Ah.
Crotchet. Okay. It was crotcheted. Very nice job, my sweet bride. Thank you very
Oh,
much.
super nice blanket.
cannot-
Awesome.
Cannot wait to see what he thinks about it.
Oh, he's gonna love it.
I know that I almost cried. You almost
see it.
cried.
See
Yeah.
it.
So yeah, we got that for Ty. I can't wait till he can utilize it.
Yeah.
He will enjoy
Um,
that.
Missing him pretty big time.
So what's all of this stuff here, guys? What's going on here?
well, we decided that we kind of like our customers a little bit.
Okay.
They're pretty
So we wanted to give away some stuff for the month of December. We've got holidays coming up, such as Christmas.
good. Sure.
And we haven't done anything like this in a while. So we just, right before the live stream, went through the shop and chose some items that we're going to give away for free. We're not sure quite yet. We still have to talk about it, what you're going to have to do. It's not going to be anything like that, Anthony Palumbo. Okay? don't get any ideas. Also, thanks for the founders, buddy.
We have to put one of those disclaimers. Like, remember back in the day when like Jackass was on TV? They'd be like, "We will not do not send us tapes of you and your buddies doing dumb stuff. Like, we will not open them. Do not send us nudes, Tony. You can send them. It's okay. I'm sorry.
So we chose some items that we're going to be giving away. One tonight
Yeah, heck yeah! It's December, Christmas.
or
3 days.
tomorrow.
It's 3 days.
This week.
We've only got. Well, I guess we're not really giving away tonight per se.
Yeah, because we don't know what we're going to have them do yet.
There's like 3 live streams before Christmas. So yeah, I think the first one we're going to do is this cool Crimson Trace scope, which I had never seen one of these before, and they seem really nicely made.
Yeah, they're
like,
decent.
You
for
know,
sure.
for the price, it's 169.
Yep.
169.
3 to 9.
3 to 9 by 40. Looks like it's got a cool reticle. No, sorry, standard. Thought this one had something different. on there.
Standard, some kind of plex.
Yeah.
I believe they call it.
Pretty cool. Quarter inch,
Duplex reticle.
quarter MOA adjustments. You know, just a nice basic scope. And doesn't it come with the rings?
It comes with rings.
That's really
Yeah.
nice. That's like the most annoying part about a scope and then just like not knowing if it's gonna work. Like
Low, medium, high.
I hate that. I
Yeah,
hate that.
rings are 20 to 120 bucks. You know,
Yeah.
for rings.
So yeah, we're gonna be giving that away maybe tomorrow. We'll make a post. So just keep a watch on the Facebook page, which you obviously do if you're watching this.
Yeah, that'll go on pretty much anything. That'll go on a rimfire.
Yep.
Shotgun. You could use that for
Nice.
any kind of rifle. Pretty much.
All
you can put it on just about anything.
All day.
Mhm.
So that's going to be the first one that we've got coming up. Second, we've got a couple boxes of 9mm and a calendar, So
What kind of 9mm though?
these
Not just any kind.
are Winchester silver tip jacketed hollow points. It's the winter. They have to have a jacket on. So
Yes.
it's just good,
Cold out there.
good self-defense. These are 20 round boxes. I mean,
Defensive ammo.
worst, to be fair, have our prices on ammo gone up? Yes.
Defensive ammo, for those of you that don't know, is not the same price as full metal jacket ammo.
That's true.
Elaborate.
That's true. We did put a post out on Facebook, and some people were very surprised that we were charging $1 a round for 9mm, but that's a pretty normal, like 3 or 4,
Even pre-COVID,
Right.
if you
It's
want
high
good
quality
defensive ammo,
Box of 20 HSTs, right? Generally like 23 or 24.99.
Yeah, they'll be over $1.
Right.
what do
$1.
I pay for the TAC XPD?
TAC
It's at
XPDs
least
are
like $26.99.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what I carry. That's
Or-
what you carry.
That's what I use.
Same with
Yeah.
Sabo or Sabot slugs. We would post up some of those, and people would like lose their minds.
Yeah,
And
they're
it's
like the rounds that I hunt with.
Sometimes, like Remington AccuTips are, like $5 a slug.
Good
or
for my
whatever, like-
Barnes, for my lead-free Barnes ammo that I use for my 270, $37.99
For 20.
for 20 rounds.
Yeah. Yeah.
But it's good lead-free hunting ammo.
Yeah.
There's a lot of science that goes in to making this kind of ammo.
Right.
Right.
Yeah. So yeah, it is what it is, but this is ammo. We actually, I don't want to even really say we had some of this. We might have a box or two left for sale in the morning. But
Limit one per person.
I think I'm biased a little bit, obviously, but I think we have kept our prices extremely fair throughout this.
Trying really hard.
We could easily sell that for $30 a box. If we wanted to, we could be selling that for $30 a box.
Sure.
People would pay it.
It would go, yeah.
But we're selling them for $19.99, which is a very fair pre-COVID, panic price.
For good hollow points.
Right. So we're working with you the best we can. We're beating up our distributors the best that we can, trying to get, there's really no deals to be had. That's really not how it works, but we're trying, we're really trying. We've got hundreds of thousands of dollars in back orders, that eventually will come, but who knows?
Hopefully not all at once.
Who knows when? Yeah.
Right.
So I'm
Hopefully.
going to have to go back on the corner.
I got multiple tanks of propane ready for the forklift, so we'll just keep
All right.
unloading that.
I thought you were going to say for the grill. Be selling burgers out there like
A man's got to eat.
Bovandy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So okay, finally, Josh, if you want to hold that up
Sure.
for our final giveaway,
Clear.
I don't think we did one last year, but we've done this in years past. We are going to give away a firearm. So obviously, all federal and state laws apply. You're going to have to come in, pass a background check, blah blah blah. We're not going to be able to ship this out of state. I guess not that we're not able to, but we just don't want to. So only enter this one if it's something you can come and get at our store in person. But that is a ATI Nomad 410 shotgun, little single shot 410, and I tell you what, if you don't have something like that, like you should get one. Oh, and we're giving you some ammo with it, which again is super rare. 2 boxes of slugs and some home defense ammo. But yeah, I mean, think about all of our grandpas and uncles and stuff. Like the gun that you got from him was a little 410 or something. That's like such a basic, like,
Sure.
Just a gun. That's like one of the most tool implementations of a firearm.
Yeah, man,
for
sure.
Just to do a job. I got a little rabbit that's causing problems in the garden. I got a little
Perfect for
squirrel,
that, or
a little whatever.
squirrels,
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's a great little gun,
Shot a bunch of
especially
squirrels with mine.
for like a younger person that's just
sure.
learning how to
Yeah.
shoot, or an older person that wants to learn how to shoot. Right? Anybody that's got some sort of physical limitation. I do like this one a lot as well because I'm generally, you guys know, I'm not a shotgun guy. But because this one folds in half like that,
Pretty cool.
and I could slide it right into a little backpack or something of that nature, I do think this is, pretty neat. And the price point on it, obviously being free as part of the giveaway, is good. But even on the retail side, relatively reasonably priced gun at around $120.
And we've got some of those for sale. We've got 3 more up
Right.
there available. So, obviously winning it, like Pat said, for free is the best price you could pay.
100%.
But
But if I can press the trigger and it goes bang, it's worth $100 no matter what.
all day, yeah, absolutely. That's one of the cheapest working, reliable firearms you're going to be able to buy these days.
Cut it here. Cut it.
No,
Wait.
no.
Oh.
Little ATF hat. We got to get those made.
Let me know if anybody's doing crimes tonight. I love doing illegal stuff.
Hello, fellow kids.
Not the cop.
Oh man. So I think somebody asked. I know Brian. We'll get to some questions in a minute, but I thought I saw out of the corner of my eye an inventory update. Josh, if you want to just quick,
Sure.
hit some highlights of the inventory, maybe.
What do we got? So,
Break this.
as some of you saw on Monday, we got in some Gen 3 Glock 19s. We are down to 2 of those. We got 5 in. We're down to 2. Gen 3 Glock 19 going for $549.99 brand new. There's still 2 of those left.
3 all day.
We have 3.
Yeah.
Okay.
2, 3.
Lovely. There's 3 left. Okay. Glock 19 Gen 3 $549. We've got 3 of those. We just got in 5 Glock 43 single stack 9mm. We haven't had these in months. Literally, I don't think we've had these on the shelf since March.
Really? Yeah.
We got in 5. We have 4 left. $499 on the Glock 43. Neither of those prices have changed in the past 3 years. We did not change our prices on those, even though we could. We could sell the 40. I've seen places online selling 43s right now for $575, $599. I've seen places locally selling the 19s for $650, $699, $550, and $499 here, respectively. We have some pretty neat semi-auto 20 gauges in by TriStar. Nice little wood stock with a stainless type. I don't know if that's Cerakote or what, but these are pretty cool. And boy, do they point nice. It's got a red fiber optic up front. Again, semi-auto, TriStar, nice wood stock. Those are going for $475.
Wow.
Which is a great price for a semi-auto shotgun.
Yeah.
We have some Ruger Model 1022s that are the deluxe sporter model. Even though these may look like just a standard Woodstock 1022,
How can you charge so much for
I had to
those?
get into it with a couple customers when we last posted this. But this model is the 1022 Deluxe Sporter. So
what makes it deluxe? Is it this nice walnut stock instead of just the birch wood?
yeah, it's not a beech
Beechwood
stock like the really cheap ones. It's got a front sling swivel. It's a little bit longer barrel.
18 instead of 16, right?
Yeah, just a nicer gun. It's got the brass pin up front. So Ruger Model 1022, one of the best semi-autos out there on the market. $425 on that, brand new. Make a great Christmas present or a great first rifle for somebody.
Very, very nice gun.
We've got some Ivor Johnson home defense shotguns.
What?
Don't look at me like that.
What?
Home defense shorties here, 18.5 from IJ. Surprised these haven't gone. Usually when we post any kind of pump action shotgun under 30 inches, it's gone. So yeah, Ivor Johnson 12 gauge pump action shotgun, brand new, $325. There's 2 of these on the shelf. These will not last long.
So
Is it an AR-15?
Yeah.
What?
So scary.
Yeah. There's an AR on consignment that just came in.
Okay, but what good is an AR? I can't buy any ammo right now.
What, does this one come with ammo or
It
something?
comes with 500 rounds, doesn't it?
Holy shit.
Yeah. Right down there.
Yeah.
Okay. Here you go.
So for those of you who are into scary stuff, we have one of these. We have one of these assault rifle 15s here.
Let me just
So this one specifically seems to have a very nice mid-length gas system, and it's got a really cool full muzzle device on it. Longer handguard, nice ergo grip. This is a Magpul CTR stock. It is a Spikes Tactical lower receiver for those of you who are into some of that more Gucci higher end stuff. It does have your comp mag already good to go, so it is New York State compliant. And as Brando indicated, it does come with 500, that is 500 rounds of ammunition, and it's on consignment for a meager $19.99.99.
Including the ammo, that's not
Including the right. So when you
These
get
days.
when you get some ammo with the gun, understand that that's like $400 of additional value right there. So
Also, we have two of Pat's favorite handgun out here. The Ruger LCP2
Okay.
in 22 LR. That's why we have rubber mats
Yep.
behind the counter. Ruger LCP2 in 22 long rifle, brand new 359. There's two of these on the market.
those are possibly
Pat's
the
favorite
best
gun.
handgun ever designed.
So quick story. Those of you that remember Gander Mountain, right? I used to work at Gander Mountain from like 2009 to 2012 or so, maybe 11. And when I first started working there, the way they had it was the back gun counter was like a little island, and the back gun wall you could just go right up to, and all the guns were tethered to the wall. They had cable, they had the lock on the trigger lock with like a rubber wire cable, right? Going back to the wall.
I remember.
So so you could go back up there, you could touch all the guns. It was so cool. It's one of the we used to have one out here when we had more inventory. I love a gun shop where you can just walk in and like handle the guns. I hate that, I love my store, but this is less preferable as a customer.
Sure.
Having to ask to see the merchandise. So anyways, because they were all tied together, I can't tell you how many times people would, get them all unorganized and cables would be crisscrossed and on top of each other. And somebody would go just without looking and like grab a gun and turn to show their buddy, and like three other guns would come falling. And they had racks like maybe even a little higher than this. They had no rubber, and like I would say at least probably maybe not once a week, but for sure a couple times a month. They'd be inventory, like whatever you call that, like it's destroyed inventory, whatever they turn, like damaged inventory, whatever it is, $1,000 Browning, coming down, or whatever gorgeous, cool gun it was. And then they got rid of that system probably because of that.
Probably had something to do with it.
Yeah,
Scratch and dent.
Only probably
Really good deal.
Somebody was buying them. Yeah. The only other thing I was going to say is I noticed we have a lot of red dots.
Yeah,
in stock. So if you're looking for just a nice, simple red dot, SIG Romeo 5,
Yeah,
$200.
I got one of those.
You can't beat that. And I've never seen this one, the MSR, the Romeo MSR
I like that one
compact
too.
red dot 169. Hard to beat those. So we got a bunch of these in stock. So if you're looking for an AR build, if you're trying to piece some stuff together, you're having a hard time finding optics. We've got a bunch, and we got a couple other choices down here too. Some Sightmark stuff, some cheaper
NC Star.
We got a magnifier over there.
Yes, that magnifier, that Juliet magnifier, is brand new. It's never been unboxed. It's on consignment from one of our favorite customers over here.
Nice.
And it's been sitting here for a good long time. So I really hope that somebody will come and snap that thing up on the table.
Brian, B-Money, what do we got for questions? Have we had any questions, or is there anybody out there watching?
Oh yeah, we've got quite a few. All right, so here we go. Starting from the top.
Sure.
Last count we had a dozen questions. Jeremiah asked, did the coffee arrive?
Yes. We got a supply box and some Murdered Out
Really?
blend. Yeah.
Thanks, buddy.
Thank you.
Hey, you're the man.
Thank you there.
Very
John
kind of you.
DeWitt asks, where can you pheasant hunt around here?
There are actually
Bunch of
quite a few.
places.
Yeah, almost all exclusively, I would say, not exclusively, but preserves, right? Like places, there are people that raise pheasants to do exactly what we did. And really, we were there just kind of to train your cousin's dog.
Yeah.
Like he's trying to train up the dog, and it's hard to.
It just needed, like some
Hunters,
extra
yeah.
gunners. Yeah.
It's hard to train the dog and do the hunting. So
Yeah.
he could focus on the dog and doing the dog stuff, and we could just hunt. So there are places. This guy's just a little bit less official. I don't think there's like a web. I don't think this guy has like a website.
No,
Maybe he does,
yeah.
but there are plenty of places. Maybe sometime we could come up with a list or something because it's a pretty popular
Yeah.
thing.
So right off
You know
the bat,
some.
I can name 3.
Yeah.
There's one in Hamlin called F&B, and I've been there 2 or 3 times with some of my friends. And you can rent, like their dogs and stuff like
That's
that.
pretty
Which, if you've ever tried to pheasant hunt without a dog, you know how extremely difficult it is. It's pretty hard to find the birds if you don't have a dog.
Yeah.
So yeah, there's a place in Hamlin, Pheasants on the Flats.
Batavia, yep.
They're
Huge.
still doing that. And
Yeah.
then Mr. Merzek's farm out on Route 20 in maybe Darien.
Sounds
I believe it's in Darien.
Yeah.
On Route 20. I don't know the name of that one though.
Driven past it.
Yeah, but there's a pheasant farm out there.
You type that into Google though.
Yeah.
Pheasant.
Yeah, pheasant hunting near, like.
But generally, that's how it goes. You pay for the birds. You might pay for a guide. To go
Yeah.
out there and flush them.
Yeah,
lot of fun.
normally you have to pay, like for the handler for the dog.
Sure,
So
it's a lot of fun though.
it's nigh
A lot of walking.
impossible.
You're going to be hiking up and down through a field trying to
Yeah.
flush these birds out.
I've gone to the state land down by where we both like to hike.
Sure. Yeah. Carlton Hill.
Carlton Hill
Yeah.
State Forest, like literally right after the DEC has released birds, and I've never gotten anything there because I didn't
You
have
don't
a
have a
dog.
dog, yeah.
Yeah.
Probably walking right by them.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I'm sure that we walked right by him
Sure we
on
did. Yeah, it's such a
on
weird on
on Sunday.
I'm very new to hunting. For those that don't know, I've nothing against it. I just didn't grow up doing it. I mean, if you don't have Josh is my mentor, it's so exciting. He's such a good teacher. But it's just when you think hunting, be quiet. We're trying to sneak up on him. And pheasant hunting, you're just like kicking him and trying to get him out of there, like you're trying to make as much noise as you can. Yeah, get the hell out of here. But that was fun. It was a lot of fun.
Like the birds are raised in pens,
Right.
so
Very docile.
often they don't fly, and you literally do have to walk right up on them and nudge them with your foot to get them to fly, and then you shoot them. So
And then you
Fly.
eat them.
and you eat them.
And we ate them.
And you ate yours.
Same day. Yeah.
How did the family like them?
They were hesitant, but we breaded them right up, like they were chicken breasts, and they ate them.
Nice.
They had no complaints.
Good stuff.
Andrew and his wife were over that
Oh,
night
cool.
hanging out, and Andrew, his dad hunted, so Andrew knew to eat a little carefully just in case you get a
Just
little
in
piece of
case.
shot,
Yeah.
right? And he did. He
Did he?
grabbed a piece, and spit it out on the
Yeah.
plate. It was pretty funny. So
Nice.
yeah,
Good times.
Yeah. But
Good times.
yeah, what else we got, Brian?
Quite a few, and they're still rolling in.
Nice.
Send them.
Next one, we were talking about the Cuomo vinyl stickers there. Question came in is, have you guys seen the Cuomo toilet paper?
I have. And speaking of Cuomo toilet paper, if you might need a little bit more fiber in your diet, right? Or maybe you get a little bit constipated. Sometimes people do. Slap one of those bad boys in your shitter and it'll scare the shit right out of you. Been working on that one all day, boys.
Sweet Jesus.
Am I allowed to say that? Or
Yeah,
does
no,
that have to-
I
does that have to be poop?
No, I think
He called this shit.
don't call
We marked this video not safe for kids.
Yeah, don't call the shit poop on the show.
All right.
I wonder if
next
Wesley's
one
watching.
comes from Zachary. He was asking if sounds like it's a person-to-person transfer sell. If you can sell a pistol to someone with an issuance class next week.
A what?
So if somebody is being issued their pistol permit next week, can you sell them a firearm in advance of that? Kind of.
Yeah, we can give you the paperwork.
Yeah, there's parts of it that we can do beforehand, and then there's parts of it that we have to leave until the person actually has a license, right? But if they've already gotten that letter that says like their permit number on there when they're going to be issued it, or they've already gotten the approval, yeah, you bring them in here. You, being the seller, would bring yourself, the gun, the pistol permit, and your identification. We go ahead and book the gun in, take copies of all of your documentation as the seller, take copies of all the documents for the buyer that they would provide, their driver's license, the letter if they've got it, etc. And then we take the gun, book it in from the buyer as though we were going to sell it basically on a consignment basis kind of thing. And then we take and we sell, or we give the buyer their paperwork to go to the county clerk's office, get the gun added to their permit when they go to pick the permit up. And then once they come back with the permit and the purchase coupon that verifies the gun has been added onto said permit, we go ahead and initiate a background check. And once they pass the background check, we take the $35 for the $20 for person to person.
10 from each party.
Yep, 10 from each or 20. And then we conduct the sale. So yes, we can start the process. We can't complete the process unless and until they have their physical permit.
So the next one, we have to interrupt and go out of order here. Wesley says, Daddy, say hi to me.
Oh, hi, Wesley. Hi, baby. Daddy loves you.
So we had to take that one out of order.
Thank
100%.
Your kid has a Facebook account already?
It's got
pretty woke.
It's got more followers than we do.
Does more cool stuff.
All right, so John's got a couple of questions here, so we'll go back to back. First one is it weird or a dick move to use a shot timer at an indoor range?
Weird, virtually impossible, right? Because other people are going to be shooting next to you, and you're not going to be only capturing your shots,
Right.
So it's kind of virtually impossible unless you're the only person there.
And also, lots of ranges don't let you draw from the holster.
Yeah, some indoor ranges specifically, like this indoor range, if you guys come here, for those of you who don't know, right, there is like actually a process in place for, people who have, had a concealed carry permit for a long time, are armed professionals, shoot competitively, etc. Right? If you are a person that works from the holster frequently and stuff like that, there are processes in place whereby we can get you kind of approved and verified that, yes, this is a person who is safe.
It's a case-by-case thing.
Right? It's an individual thing, guys, because not everybody can do it safely on a range with people to the left and the right of them, and with a concrete floor underneath, and all of those considerations have to come into play. So sometimes there are people that come here and have been granted permission to do some of those type things. And so, yeah, John, if you were here on your own, let's say, and you had a shot timer and we had verified, as I already have done with you, that you're safe as far as getting the gun in and out, then you would be able to do that. But unless you're the only person on the range, it's not going to work for you.
Yeah.
So he was thinking more from like low ready to target, but still just the whole idea of having other shots going off that could.
Right. Yeah. No matter what the other shots or what the timer is going to be picking up, or, something that the timers are going to be picking up, it's going to be virtually impossible. And depending on the sensitivity of your specific timer and where you're standing, sometimes the reverberations of the shots off of the walls and stuff like that in our range will cause multiple shots to be registered when you've only fired once.
Good, not great.
Yeah. So you can do it, and there are adjustments you can make to the timer and the shot sensitivity and all of that stuff to make it more effective. But
maybe more to. Not the spirit of his question. Is it weird or like uncool? Maybe he's thinking of like the other people in the range's reaction. I would say you're probably just going to get not necessarily looks, but people would like, hey, what are you doing? Like that seems, you know what I mean?
People would be more curious.
Gun people are very friendly, obviously, as a lot of
Generally,
us know. Yeah. So they would just see you're clearly doing something. Like they don't. Why don't I have a shot timer maybe? And
what's this
you
guy
know,
doing that I'm not doing? Should
so
I be doing this?
not a bad thing per se, but I think you would get some queries.
So what could you use maybe in place of a shot timer that starts with an M?
Well, one of the things I like is the metronome, right? That works pretty well. And you're going to have to accompany that probably with some video in order to like be able to reference what you're actually doing and what you're seeing on the video, unless you have somebody there to coach as well. But yeah, the metronome, John, is a great tool that you can use. You don't have to reset it. You don't have to worry about it picking up a bunch of other people's shots as well. And if you're doing it in conjunction with video, it can be a super effective tool.
You don't actually have to buy one. There's like a million apps.
You can get one on your app. Yeah. On your phone rather. And there are some shot timer apps out there too. But generally speaking, the ones that are free, I have not had great luck with up to this point. So I just would rather buy, a packed timer.
Sure.
And use that.
Nice. What else we got, Brian?
All right, so John's second question that he put in right about the same time was any interest in doing a intro to pistol red dot class and pistol mechanics with a red dot for either a auto or revolver?
Is there any interest in it among like the instructor cadre or any interest in the public? Because I would say in the public, probably there's a lot of interest in some red dot pistol stuff. One of the issues that I personally have is I don't run a pistol with a red dot. So I'm a little bit behind the power curve on that myself. Honestly, that's something that I'd have to spend a little bit of time doing, and I would probably have to go and get some actual instructor development on that.
You're just going to make it up as you go along? Oh, weird.
No,
Weird.
unlike the rest of the stuff that I just pull out of my behind. No, you know what, guys? Honestly, like Brandon hit on a really good point just there. None of the stuff that we do is something that I can just come up with and make up, right? All of the stuff that I teach here personally, individually, is stuff that I've stolen from other instructors that are way smarter and more experienced than me. And so I don't want to give you guys bad information, so I have to go and get it from people that have already spent a lot of time developing that stuff. So short answer, yes, in the future.
Yeah. I would say generally anything, like if you have an idea, like do you think people would be interested in this? Like the answer from this side would be yes. Like we are always interested in promoting anything. We'll try anything twice. That's our famous
New,
saying.
more, better, right? I want all of this stuff to continue to grow and develop. So if you guys have suggestions, yes, I am always interested to hear your thoughts and all of that stuff should be driven by you guys anyway. All the stuff that we're teaching here should be driven by what you guys are asking us for. So we want to be responsive to that stuff. It's just, are we qualified? Do we have the capability?
Can you do a class in confiscating guns?
Get out of here, dude. God, he keeps coming. He's like a cat that you feed.
Give him a little bit of tax money one time.
Right.
Take a mile.
We
All
are
right.
fun. We are fun.
A couple more, but again, jumping out of order a little bit for spouses and family of those on camera.
Man.
Uh-oh.
Wesley giggled and smiled, so he's quite happy.
Aw, my
And
baby.
then Pat, you have an awesome wife.
Yeah, she's pretty cool.
She bought you English muffins.
She bought me English muffins?
Oh, I love English. They better be Thomas.
Bring them on over.
Yeah, right. Oh, dude.
Thomas's makes bagels?
Yeah, no. Only Thomas English.
This is a Thomas's house.
100%, right? Heinz ketchup. We have rules.
Okay, yeah.
There are rules.
This is a society, okay?
Talking about English muffins.
Moving on to the next question.
Gotta have those nooks and
Thomas
crannies.
asked- What?
Gotta have
Nooks
those
and
nooks and crannies.
Crooks and nannies on mine.
So Tom's asking any input on cartridge type laser sight work or to use them.
Using
Sure.
them specifically for what, I guess would be my question. But yes, I do have thoughts on the laser cartridge training aids. they're pretty cool. In fact, we have one here that we use in conjunction with our smokeless range, and I have found it to be a super beneficial tool as long as you understand like the applications that you're trying to use it for and the limitations of it, right? So with our specific one, I've been using it a lot more for things like drawing the gun, right, against a timer and malfunctions. So, you know, or like reloads, right? Get the gun out, press the trigger, gun will fire, but not lock to the rear, right? So then you got to tap and you rack, and then the gun locks open, and then you conduct your emergency reload, and then you get another shot on the target. And we can, you know, with the smokeless range, we can time both of those things.
Nice.
So yeah, I have used the smokeless the laser cartridge training devices, and I'm constantly trying to come up with new ways to try and integrate them to make the dry fire training a little bit more complete, right? Because the dry fire training is always missing the downrange feedback component and device to it, and we're also always missing the recoil management piece.
Sure.
So with the laser, I'm still, but I am getting some sort of a downrange feedback. So yeah, use those things and be creative when you do.
Nice.
Yeah, I mean, especially now and
When ammo's so
Ammo's
expensive
right.
and hard
tough to find.
yeah.
stuff like that's gonna come in real handy.
Yeah, becoming more in your approach and more complete in the approach to some of the other things that we're doing in terms of our dry fire practice and whatever else. That's going to, you know, play a big role for a lot of people moving forward when ammo is, you know, a little bit scarce.
Yeah, I've got an old Wii. Got a quick draw game on the Wii.
Sure.
No.
You're right.
I do.
But realistically, you know what I mean? Like, you're working some of those same mechanics. Is it perfect? No. But
Better than not doing
better
it.
than, yeah, sitting around with your.
Don't say
Yep.
it. Don't say it.
All right, so Jeremiah, wasn't exactly sure what actions he's talking about here, but what's your guys' opinion on the latest actions of the ATF?
So I'm talking about the whole
Pistol
Q
braces?
honey badger pistol brace situation.
Bunch of
I would
dicks.
advise. Whoa!
All right, let's-
That's a negligent
I
discharge.
would advise people to check out websites like TGC with Mr. John Patton. He put out a pretty good podcast last week about it. I would advise you to go to the Gun Collective and watch that, because he went over sort of what he thinks about it, and I would tend to side with him until they haven't really come out with anything hard. And like he said on his podcast, whoever makes those braces, who's it again? SB. They have provided numerous letters on specific products, but then the ATF is trying like to backpedal and say, no, that was only for this specific
For
brace.
this specific brace or for this specific application tied to this
Right.
one gun as an OEM product kind of deal. Yeah, so here's the thing that we have to kind of understand. It's an administrative. So when we're talking about the ATF and those opinion letters, right? What the ATF basically was doing was, in my opinion, it was unconstitutional. But basically, they're providing guidance about what they believe is and isn't covered under the National Firearms Act, right? And when they're doing that, they're doing it on the basis of a bureaucrat's opinion of what constitutes a violation of the National Firearms Act, right? So when they're issuing those opinion letters, as soon as whose ever signature is, dry on that piece of paper, essentially, if somebody new comes into that same position and they have a different opinion, the previous opinion is null and void at that point. And all they're doing is they're going off, again, the opinion of the head of the ATF technology branch that's saying, yes, I think that the braces are good. And then all of a sudden, the braces are not good anymore. So I think that it's just an attempt basically to see what they can get away with, kind of a deal, right? They know there's a Democrat administration coming into power, and they're going to try and see what they can try to kind of, administratively do to seize some more power and also to make some more people criminals. But it's not actually legal, right?
Okay. I threw up the link to what Mr. John Patton from TGC said, and I would highly advise all of you, if you want to know more about that, watch, I think it's a 9 or 10 minute video, and you should like follow them, because I think they do some of like the nicest jobs out there as far as like the media of, like trying to get
taking these
the
stories,
most,
encapsulating them, and disseminating the information to you guys in a way that you can kind of understand.
They do a really, really good job of that. Yeah. So follow them, like them. I was actually talking to John a couple weeks ago because he used a picture of you, Brandon, in one of
Yes, I saw that.
in one of his videos, and I offered to send him one of the calendars, but he politely declined. So, I don't think he wanted to give me his home address, which I totally understand.
Sure.
So, but yeah, go check them out. Follow that link if you want to learn more about what's going on with pistol braces and whatnot.
Yeah, bottom line, guys, laws come from the legislature, not from what some guy writes on a piece of paper. So,
Who we got, Brian?
Oh, they're still coming in. So got another one from Jeremiah. What's your guys' opinion on the quote controversy in the 2A community about trying to cancel Black Rifle Coffee Club because of their neutral position on Kyle Britton?
Oh man,
I haven't followed that at all.
So yeah, the only thing that I know about that is some people got all butt mad at Black Rifle because they didn't come out and say that they want Kyle, what's the kid's name?
Rittenhouse.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah. They basically didn't say, great job for going out and, smoking a guy in Milwaukee, right? So I can't really find too much fault with them as a corporate entity for saying, hey, we don't take any official position on this whatsoever, right? And Brandon, you're a business guy.
I was going to say, it's really hard. I don't want to say we do the same thing, but we have done a similar thing or similar things in the past, whether it's, let's just say for the Genesee County Sheriff's race, like we didn't endorse either candidate. We didn't, you know what I mean? Like I don't want to say we didn't have a dog in the fight, but it's extremely hard as a business to take stances on anything.
It is
these days,
especially such a big business.
Anything. I mean, those of you that know this page and know this business and love us, we took some crap a little earlier in the years over some radios. And I thought that was like the most politically safe. Like I was like, I can post. That's why I love the radios in some way, because I was like,
benign.
There's nothing I can go wrong with these. There's no political angle. There's nothing.
Totally legal for people to own and possess.
Blew up, and it was a whole thing, completely taken out of context, and it is what it is. So I can, it's tough. It's tough as a business. To be honest, it was this for me. It's the same as like the hate for Benchmade. I don't understand it really, and I have a Benchmade knife on right now.
Right.
And I fully respect people that vote with their wallet and decide to no longer do business with a company that is our ultimate capitalistic right, and I love that way of showing your support or taking away your support, stand behind it. But in that instance, that didn't make sense to me, with what happened with Benchmade. Just, they were they're a machine shop. They're a factory with equipment. Like, hello, we would like you to do this. Like, okay, to me, that's how that went. But, the Black Rifle Coffee thing with him, same thing. Like, didn't he just like wear one of their shirts or something like that? And people,
I don't know.
I think that's what it was. Like Kyle was seen wearing one of his shirts and everyone was like, oh, like they support him or whatever. And it's like, well, he was just wearing our merch.
Right.
Like, not really, I think, they'll correct me if I'm wrong, but I think it was something like that, or,
I don't know.
It's just tough.
I haven't
It's just
followed that.
extremely tough. extremely tough. And I hate that division. You know, like it's hard enough as gun owners. You know, and now we got like
There's all there. Yeah, we see it all the time.
so many schisms.
You know.
You know,
If we support police too much, then we're bootlickers.
sure,
If we don't, then we're anti-cop.
right,
There's like why isn't there
right.
a nice
Why
like,
can't we
medium?
support like good cops and then we say that bad cops are still bad guys? Right?
Yeah.
Like
Yeah,
you're either doing your job correctly or you're not.
right,
And we support guys to do their job correctly.
right.
Um,
So yeah, I disagree with the controversy. I guess I don't follow it. I guess I'm not tracking. It doesn't make sense to me to hate a business like that
unless they've actually done something
Right.
that is specifically anti-Second Amendment, which I don't
Sure.
think that any of those guys would ever do. Like Matt Best and Evan Hafer are definitely
Right.
not anti-Second Amendment guys by any stretch of the imagination.
Right.
So yeah, I totally am separated from all of that stuff. Speaking of things that we got wrong, though, I did want to circle back real quick. So a couple weeks ago, we did a show, and somebody was asking about 5.56 and 2.23 and 223 wild chambers and all that stuff. And I made a little error there, and I actually had to go back and reread because I was like, that didn't sound right when I said it. And so I went back and did a little bit more research. So I had initially stated that the 5.56 millimeter chamber is smaller, and therefore it results in higher chamber pressures. That is actually incorrect. 5.56 millimeter chamber dimension is slightly larger. The 223 chamber dimension is actually slightly smaller. So,
Gotcha.
and I shouldn't have made that error being an AR-15 armor. And when I said it, I knew it didn't sound right. So I went back and I had to reread some old information to kind of re-solidify that in my head because I do flip-flop some of that stuff back and forth. But I wanted you guys to know, for those of you that caught me out there and were like, oh man, Pat doesn't.
What an idiot.
No, Pat knew after he said it that something was off there. So I just wanted to let you guys know that when I do get something like that wrong, I'll be the first one to say it. And I will never I'm not going to.
You were not.
I never said that.
Right.
No,
You were not
said
afraid to admit.
100%. I've been wrong 100 times today, and I'll be wrong 100 times tomorrow, most likely. So, yeah,
I thought I was wrong once.
I was
But
mistaken.
I was mistaken.
Let's keep those going.
Shannon will probably.
Thank you all
argue-
for these questions. I love when we get a lot of good questions.
Yeah, no,
This is my
absolutely.
favorite
Love the
part of the
interaction.
show.
It's been another good stream.
We always pretty much forget to plan these, so it's kind of nice.
We rely on
You guys
you.
really help us
so
out. Like,
thanks for carrying
I'm
us.
just in the back, like drinking beer. Like, what are we gonna do tonight?
Almost all the time.
out there, like,
No,
man,
From
I really
noon
hope I
on,
don't throw
yeah.
a gun on the floor in front of everybody. Oh, wait.
hey, buddy, I've
Oh wait,
done that. I've done that here at the counter. It happens.
Brian, what you got for us, buddy?
It should be a fairly quick one. Brandon, how long have you owned the pin?
so we
The whole-
the whole time. Yeah, the whole time.
Just say
The
yes.
entire
Yes. We broke ground here in 2013, and we opened our doors in January of 2014. So ever since then.
All right. Next one is another one from Jeremiah, one of our very active followers.
Absolutely.
He's asking if you guys would consider doing a deal like other gun shops are doing, where if you buy a is it just a gun? Yeah, pistol. Would you include a box of ammo in the respective caliber? I think if you had it, you might consider it, but
I would let you buy a box if you bought a
It's so
handgun.
tough. Yeah.
Maybe if we had some, like that we were doing one box a piece on, maybe if you bought a gun, then we would let you buy two. But as far as including one, likely not.
Yeah.
Especially right now.
Especially at our prices,
I mean, like a year or two ago,
Yeah.
we have been known to do that in the past. In times like these, I'm gonna say,
Just can't do it.
no. But we may let you buy more than one box if you buy
Right.
a gun if we have it.
We also do, for people that buy a gun from us, we generally do like a free range session, right? So you get an opportunity to practice with your new gun, or sometimes, if I happen to be like here and there's not a whole heck of a lot going on, like maybe I can take you in the range for a second and kind
Yeah.
of help show you around the gun a little bit and kind of help get you spun up, right? A
Free like 15-minute.
free like little miniature lesson kind of deal, right? So we definitely love hooking you guys up, as everybody here should know. And yeah, if there's a way that we can make your experience better for you, then we're gonna try to do
Usually
that. But
try
as far
to
as ammo,
do that. Yeah.
yeah, it's so expensive.
So
right now.
tough.
So the next question is about the barrel head or cap.
Yes.
Oh, yeah. Pretty cool. What's the question?
I was just wondering what it is.
What's up with that? Who asked that?
Daryl.
Okay, you know what's up with
You know exactly what's up with
Uh,
it.
Slide on.
So yeah, some of our longest and friendliest customers.
Don't say
like,
oldest.
Yeah, that's a tough one. Our
Season?
Mary and Daryl, they have been around here since we opened. They, for some reason, I don't know why you would not love this state, but they moved away. They are no longer with us here in New
You
York.
mean they escaped?
They made their getaway, and they are down in the great state of Kentucky. And apparently these things are just like laying around everywhere down there. These whiskey barrel lids, right? Top lid. What is this?
Sure.
Yeah. But yeah, this is a genuine whiskey. I don't know from where. I think it's from Jack Daniels.
Sounds like
Bullet, maybe.
smells like a 12-year Highland.
Okay, Joe. Joe Biden. You sound like Joe Biden over here or something. I was like,
Oh God, no.
God. But anyways, this looks hand painted. I can't tell. I don't think this is a stencil. This looks hand painted.
Oh yeah.
But a very cool
Pretty
Second
cool.
Amendment sign.
A couple of AR-14s on the front.
Just shoot them up in the air.
AK-14s.
Outside Doug-faced pony soldier. We're gonna raffle this off. This will be in the raffle for Tyler. So we kind of already talked about his update, I guess, but we are still 100% moving forward with the raffle. We're still just waiting on some additional items to roll in. We've got a really good assortment though, and I don't know what, if the tickets are going to be like $10 a piece, probably is, maybe $5, whatever they're going to be. You are going to have the chance to win some incredible items. And you're helping out, obviously, an amazing Second Amendment advocate who could certainly use your help. So that'll be fun. Thank you, Mary and Daryl. This had to have been expensive just to ship. This thing
Yeah.
is like
but-
15 pounds or so.
Thank you guys.
Very cool. This will look awesome just about anywhere.
In my house.
Hopefully.
Just about
Super.
anywhere in my house.
Super, super duper cool. But yeah, we got that. And super excited. So again, keep your eyes open. It'll be after the first of the year, I'm sure, with the raffle for Ty. We're considering waiting until he's out of the hospital, maybe, which we don't know exactly when, but it'll happen. Obviously, he's trending that way. So maybe wait and have him a little bit more involved with it. But yeah, we'll see. We'll see. What else we got?
All right, so I believe it might be a relative of yours, Linda. Back when we were talking about the pheasant hunt.
Yeah, probably.
said you had a scout day there, Brandon, on 20. There's a pond.
Okay.
Not quite sure.
Oh, maybe it's like a duck pond. I don't know.
Yeah.
20. There's a pond. It's good to know. Thank you.
Next question came in from a Michael. Steel cased ammo, okay or not?
So yes, I would say that it's okay.
That's
right?
a perfect word to use.
Yeah, it is the okayest ammo that you can use.
Yeah.
Because it's just okay, right? Is it going to accelerate the wear on your chamber and stuff of that nature? Honestly, yes, right? If you fed your gun like a steady diet of steel, and understand, I don't know if we're talking right now about rifle ammo or handgun ammo. I will say that I would rather shoot steel cased ammunition in my Glock than in my AR-15.
Sure.
right?
Sure.
And the reason I say that is because chamber pressures, right? Another reason that I say that is because my Glock tends to extract steel better than a lot of ARs that I've seen in the past.
Sure.
Just because of the way those cases expand in chambers and stuff like that. And those steel cases can be a little bit rough as well. And so I would rather not use them like on a continuous basis in my rifle barrel.
I was going to say it's really good training ammo because it gives you a better chance of working on malfunctions,
right?
And clearing cams and extraction failures and whatnot. But yeah, it'll wear out your gun, you know, and to be fair, you have to shoot a lot.
A ton.
Before, and like I would, most people, 90% of you out there do not shoot as much as Pat. And Pat, to be fair, I would say, especially right now, you shoot at probably like the mid-tier-ish level for someone of what you do. You know, you don't shoot a ton because it's hard. You can't do it. But
I keep my training sessions relatively short.
Yeah, but you do shoot. You shoot, what, 500 rounds a month?
Oh, easy.
Probably more than that.
Easy.
Maybe 1,000 rounds a month, you know? Yeah.
Probably long gun, probably 1,000, 1,500.
Yeah. So, you know, someone like Pat, you might wear through parts in a year, you know, where I don't know who asked the question. I don't know how much you shoot. That might take you might never shoot that many rounds ever.
Right.
You know, so sometimes it's like, maybe don't worry about it either.
Right.
You know,
Yeah,
think about how much you're shooting.
If you're not a person that's going to shoot the barrel out of your AR-15 and then have to replace the barrel on your AR-15 anyway, then I wouldn't concern myself with that, as Brandon said, right? If I was going to shoot the barrel out of my gun anyway, and I know that, like, hey, I've had this gun for, say, a year, and 6 months from now, this barrel is going to be roached, then yes, I would probably shoot more brass than steel to preserve the life of that barrel, right?
I don't think the trade-off, I don't think steel is cheap enough
to offset the cost of the barrel.
Barrels and stuff. Yeah,
definitely
it's
not. Definitely not.
If it's all you can find, send it. You know, right now.
Don't be afraid to shoot steel, right? Yeah. Don't only shoot steel either, right?
Yeah.
But there are guys out there that will tell you, and I kind of fall in this camp to some degree, if my gun won't run steel, it doesn't deserve brass.
Yes.
Right? Like straight up. If my gun is such a pile that I have to worry about whether or not it's going to cycle this steel ammunition, then it's not worthy of putting brass ammunition into it because it's not reliable enough.
So I've been kind of like half listening to you guys because I was trying to post some links to some pheasant preserves.
Like usual.
So if you wanted to know about that, I just threw some links up there.
Nice.
We were talking about steel case.
Steel cased ammo versus brass ammo.
Did you guys like touch on the way that the brass casing expands to fill the chamber versus the way that steel casing does not?
Not really, no. We didn't touch on that.
So some people will not shoot any kind of steel casing because of that, right? Because then when you shoot, right? And please correct me if I'm wrong. When you shoot a steel casing, it does not like expand to fill the chamber as much as, you know, like a regular brass casing.
I would say that has to be
would. So a lot of, you know, like a lot of like the shit from there gets back into the hard to clean parts of your gun. So much more dirty.
Well, generally speaking, steel cased ammo is dirtier anyway, right? Like it generally uses lower grade powders.
Yeah.
Right. And
normally Berdan primed.
Right. Berdan prime stuff, right? So it's going to be filthy regardless. But yeah, I would say that probably that does make sense to me, and it does ring true that the steel cased ammo, because it's not going to fill my chamber the same way, that I'm going to get some more gas blow by, right, coming back into the action. And I'm probably going to get a dirtier gun as a result of that.
And then also more wear and tear on your extractor.
But also the throat, right? I worry about like throat erosion too, right? So that would be
So, you know, just a few negatives for steel case.
For sure. Yeah, I think you're going to accelerate some of the wear and tear on extractors and barrel throats and stuff like that.
If you're shooting a
lot of it, right? But you would have to be a guy that shoots a whole bunch, right? The majority of people that I talk to on a day in, day out basis are not shooting enough ammunition through their guns to have to worry about that stuff.
All right. Another question here, and I'll get back to some of the online stuff.
Sure.
Somebody's looking, obviously wouldn't be on this live stream, but somebody's looking to see if we could do a full review, shoot, and takedown of the 22 LCP2.
Follow Mr. Brian Kirby
Take Aim TV.
from Take Aim TV. He has already done that. So one of our very, very good friends. I believe he did some of it here. Go check them out.
He makes really
Take
good-
Aim TV. They have a Facebook.
Mm-hmm.
The production values on his videos are very, very good. He spends a lot of
Amazing.
money on his equipment and stuff.
Super
And,
talented guy.
He's wicked knowledgeable too about
Try to
guns.
post the link.
And a lot of the stuff that he, if he doesn't know something, he'll come and ask us, and he talks with us quite a bit. So yeah, he's super knowledgeable guy, and he does a great job with his content.
You can tell too that he's like a gun and outdoorsman type of guy versus just someone who, I know I can like make money doing this. Like, oh, let me just pick that. Like, no, he uses these. He's an outdoorsman. He's a hunter. He knows what he's
using all of the products that he's reviewing, and the reason that he's
Yeah.
reviewing them is because he wants you to know if it's something that you should be investing in or not.
Right.
And yeah, he really cares about what he's doing, and I think he does an awesome job.
Nice. What, Brian?
Chris Woods on YouTube asked for your guys' opinion on if gun control laws are racist.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Historically, yes. Like verifiably, yes. Specifically in New York State.
Sullivan Act itself,
Yeah.
right? 1911.
And not racist. Today you'd obviously consider like African Americans the target of say some more recent gun control that have been enacted. But yeah, leading back to the 1900s, that was against like Italian and Polish and
Irish immigrants.
Immigrants, yeah. That the Tammany Hall political machine just didn't want people other than who they wanted, and part of their racket armed. The 1934 Gun Control Act, National Firearms Act, same thing against mobster type, thug. Very similar words that are yours. Yeah, different races. The 1968 Gun Control Act was because of the Civil Rights Movement and
The Black
Panthers,
Panthers, open
Panthers
carrying in
and-
California, right?
yeah, all that kind of stuff.
All of this gun control, all
race
these gun
riots.
control laws that have been enacted throughout the years, they've all been specifically enacted to target some ethnic group,
Yep.
right? And it's not always the ethnic groups that we might obviously look at based on today's kind of situations. But yes, there's always a financial element to it, and there's always not a class, but like an ethnicity element to it, right? So yes, very racist and very classist in the way that
And
they
sexist, too.
I would say yes, because gun rights are women's rights, right? In the sense that like a grown man, if he wanted to, could twist a woman's head right off her shoulders, but an armed woman is going to be able to obviously defend herself, right? So yes, there is definitely an element of
And it continues in New York State, with our pistol permit regime that we have. The permit itself is relatively inexpensive, but even, what is it? It's like $15 or $30, which is not that bad. But then you have to go get fingerprinted, which is like
$99 exactly, and you got to have it, in the exact
insane.
increments.
I've actually had to do it 3 times now. Once when I turned 21 to get my permit, and they're digital. This is the thing that kills me. They're digital fingerprints. So somewhere there's a file. Here are Brandon's fingerprints.
And you can just pull it up.
There
It's
they
in the
are.
cloud.
They're digital.
Yep.
You would hope.
All-
Maybe not.
All 11 of
But
them.
then 2 years later, to open this place, I had to get my dealer's license, which when you fill out your pistol permit application, at the top, are you applying for pistol permit, dealer, or gunsmithing license? So it's the same application that you fill out for your pistol permit, at least in Genesee County it is. And you select that, and I filled it out, and they go, all right, you gotta go get fingerprinted. And I was like, well, I just did that like 23 months ago or whatever it was. Like I just did this. They were like, nope, you got to go do it again. Okay, another $100 some, to Identigo or whatever it is. I'm sure one of Cuomo's cousins or something owns that company, or somebody owns it. And then every 6 years, that's up for complete renewal. Like every 3 years, you can do a half renewal. And you get this is all for your New York State dealer's license, by the way. But every 6 years, you have to do a full, they basically null your old one, and you got to do a whole new one again. And I had to get digitally fingerprinted because they'll change, apparently.
Right.
But so, the cost of doing business, it's not that big a deal, but $100 to a single mom, in the city that lives on the bus line, how's she going to do that? You know what I mean? So yeah, 100% agree with that, or I would say yes to your question. Gun control, bad.
All right, next one should be fairly quick. Any 270 Winchester on shelf?
Winchester short mag, I think. No, sorry, that's 243. No 270. We have some coming. It's probably 6 weeks out, though, unfortunately.
All right, next one, Rick Standish is asking how the lawsuit against Cuomo is progressing.
Excuse me. That is a great question. I would defer to Steve Filano at 2A NYS. I would go like his Facebook page, which is just the number 2A NYS. Look that up on Facebook. He does almost daily updates and videos and thing.
He's great.
I know we are inching towards the Supreme Court. I think we still have to get denied one more time at the
Second Circuit, right?
The Second Circuit, in New York City. I believe that's where the case is now. We were denied in Buffalo at the district level. Then we had to go to New York City, and it's kind of one of those things. If they, if we win in New York City, which we know we won't, then that would be great. We know they're going to deny us, so I think we just have to wait for that to happen, and then we can, go to
Apply
the
that
U.S.
case.
Supreme Court. Yeah, so no real update. Nothing has really happened right now, but we're just, the courts, as you know, are very slow right now, and just not much happening.
They're playing their games. We're playing ours.
Right.
3D chess. Let's do another plug for 2A NYS. I would say personally that they are to New York State as FPC is to the nation.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's a very apt comparison, right? Because they're doing a lot of legal work behind the scenes to try and reverse a lot of legislation that's been enacted wrongfully and goes against our constitutional right. So 2A NYS is a great organization. I had a family member recently ask me why should they avoid, or why should they let their NRA membership lapse, right? And I didn't have a great answer at the time when they asked the question, but I think we can all kind of agree, right, that as an organization, the NRA has become pretty bloated, right?
Yeah.
And when an organization gets that size,
Pretty mansion-y.
yeah, they spend so much money on bureaucracy, right? And they spend
Wayne
so much
LaPierre's
money
mansion.
on clothing and trips and salaries and mansions and whatever else that I think they've lost sight of, and tote bags, right, for when you become a member, right?
God.
And their ridiculous American Rifleman magazine
my
that is
God.
awful.
Oh, such a joke.
Just advertisement after advertisement
one
for.
Thing that I like about that magazine is when they do the armed citizen.
Sure.
Yeah, I love the little
Sure.
blurbs that they put in
That's
there.
the
about-
only thing I like about that magazine.
But everything else, like every review that they ever do, oh, this is the greatest piece of equipment ever. You got to go out
The
and
company
spend.
paid $5,000 for
Right.
that. Yeah.
Got to go
bad.
spend $1,500 on this new loophole optic that does the exact same thing as every other 4 to 12 power scope you've ever seen in your life, right? Like, realistically, the NRA is just they're not doing the work anymore, right? They're not hungry as an organization to really affect change.
Extremely, not cost effective either.
Right.
Many they had a lawsuit here in New York, the New York State Rifle and Pistol Association. That's the official NRA
Nice
partner.
Yeah.
NYSERPA, and they lost that case. They raised hundreds of thousands of dollars for some law firm here in the state, made a killing. A couple lawyers got paid for a couple years to work on that case, and we got nothing out of it.
But are
Whereas-
those lawyers gun guys? Do they really?
Right, no, they
care
don't.
about-
They don't.
Right.
Versus Jim Ostrowski and Steve Filano over at 2A, New York State, with 1% of that budget, they have accomplished way more than the NRA. In,
They've
in
gotten
just a few
safe act
years.
convictions overturned.
Nope.
I mean, these guys are they are fighting the fight all the time. Every time that they have a motion
Daily,
that gets,
literally daily.
Literally
every
yeah.
single day, right?
Yeah.
When they have a motion that gets denied in court, well, they appeal it and they go to the next highest
Yep.
court, right? They are fighting nonstop for you guys. So yeah, 2A NYS, I would say, just has a lot more to offer, and Firearms Policy Coalition and Gun Owners of America, right? There's a lot of other organizations out there that are actually doing a lot of great work for you guys, and they're doing it without some of the overinflated costs of printing magazines and giving away tote bags and
Right.
making little challenge coins and being the oldest gun rights organization that's never done anything for anybody in history.
So now that we're talking about that, let's go down this path. It's kind of a good thing that so many of us are stopping caring about the NRA, because we can kind of let them
Die on the vine. And
be, like the fallback, if you will, because as you know, that's what the left is most upset about.
that's true. They know the NRA. The NRA is
Sure.
the bad guy, right?
Sure.
And the NRA is like the weakest.
If we can
organization
if they
we
can
got.
if they can be the sacrificial lamb
True.
to the left, I'm fine with that.
Right. So don't tell them about Firearms Policy Coalition.
Right. Right. So there's a lot to be said about that, but we can talk. We can have a whole live stream about.
Probably could.
Some of these different
About that,
organizations,
yeah.
NRA versus USCCA.
But if I had to pick two to give my money to, it would be 2A NYS and FPC.
Yep.
So you can take that to the bank, and then
money
you can
bank.
take your bank to those two organizations.
What else we got?
All right, so this one's more for Pat. This
Is it
is
April?
asking you if you're still using your Mantis X, and if you are, what are your thoughts on having spent some more time with it?
So yeah, honestly, the Mantis X, it's still in the back over there, and I have messed with it a little bit. I was having some difficulty with the iPad because it's set up for the other instructor's iTunes. So we ended up just getting the other laser device, and I incorporate it the same way that I would use a Mantis X. The only downfalls to the Mantis X that I have found over some of the other stuff that I've, gotten more use out of, I guess, is with the Mantis X, as we talked about, it has to attach to either the rail or somewhere, there's another alternate attachment point. But I think it's like
The trigger guard? Can you
Trigger
attach
guard
it
or
to the trigger
yeah,
guard?
something like magazine, I don't know, something. But anyways, the reason I don't like that specific setup is because I have to use a holster that's designed to accommodate the Mantis X, right? So I can't work from my holster. I can't do the stuff that I would normally want to do when I'm doing my dry fire stuff, right? Because a lot of the stuff that I do in dry fire has more to do with getting the gun out of the holster, getting a magazine out of a magazine pouch, clearing malfunctions, right? Transitioning off my long gun to get to my handgun, right? So it's stuff that I need to have the gun in the holster for. So with the Mantis, that's been one of the main kind of complaints for me, is that I don't have the ability to use it with my ordinary holsters. So I just went to something different.
But our friends that just holster it could fix that.
They probably could. Yeah, in all likelihood, I could reach out to those guys and they would be able to hook me up. And maybe tomorrow I'll give them a call over there and just tell them, hey, this is Pat from the Pin. How can you guys, do you guys do this?
Just to butt in, just to circle back, Daryl actually texted me. That's a bourbon barrel,
Cool.
specifically, and he did the Second Amendment. He did that by hand.
Really?
Yeah,
Very solid work, man.
I don't believe him. No, I'm just kidding.
Wow. Nice job. I thought that he bought it. That's
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah, so he did that. So super cool.
Very
So that's really
solid
cool.
work.
That adds a little, long-time customer and really good friend of ours in the
What a
stores.
cool guy.
So
Oh, yeah.
yeah, super duper cool.
Miss
else
you
we got?
guys.
So follow up to that real quick, Vincent. threw in another comment saying that apparently you can do a floor plate.
Yeah, that was what it was. The magazine floor plate attach. So then think about like, where is my
weird.
bore relative to my magazine well?
That's weird.
How do those two things? That doesn't even make sense to me to try and put.
I'm sure it works, but it's weird to me.
Well,
It's got to know.
the mechanical off. Yeah, but just like what
feels-
is a reference?
Oh, you're shooting. Oh.
Technology, Pat.
It's magic.
It's 2020.
Yeah, I don't know,
Just
man.
embrace it.
Sounds like
Future
wizard
now.
piss to me.
All right, next. John DeWitt asks, is now the time to get into reloading, or is it really hard to find supplies, especially for 9mm?
Probably even harder.
Now is not the
Yeah.
time to get into reloading. If you had been into reloading for years and years and years and had stockpiled components,
Now's the time to gloat.
then
now's
this would
the
be
time
be
to reload.
cranking out. Yeah.
But yeah, unfortunately, now is not the time to get into reloading
Yeah.
because unfortunately, when ammo prices started going up and when ammo started becoming wildly unavailable, like it did 8 months ago, again, everybody and their mother had the same idea.
Yes. Every
So,
swinging Richard in the world had that. exact
reloading.
same thought.
Yeah.
If you're trying to get into it now, you might as well be trying to buy a box of 9mm on the shelf.
Yeah.
It's 6 in one, half dozen in the other, unfortunately.
I concur.
All right, our next one, Adam on YouTube asks, how often do we see Fight Light SCR lowers come through the shop?
Oof, almost never.
I wish we saw more.
Almost never. Yeah,
That's a really
I would-
cool option for New York.
I think so. Yeah, I think that's one of like the top options for
Yeah.
New York.
Yeah.
Like on account of you can take the mag out
Right.
Super cool guns for sure.
and you can still hold it like a normal rifle.
Yeah.
I can't stand those grips where you can't wrap your thumb around it.
Yeah.
Personally,
Just
But-
not something we can really get our hands on, though. They're so
super hard to find.
They're
almost-
pricey.
you pretty much have to buy
They're
them
up there.
from them, don't you? For
Yeah.
berries?
Well, I believe that Amtrak carries them, but they're never in
Sure.
stock.
Yeah.
All right, next one, Chris Woods. He's asking about the big rectangular rifle with a shiny black barrel next to the Garands. I believe it's just the left barrel cap there.
Why don't you take that one, Brando?
This guy?
I believe so.
Okay. So this is a pretty cool semi-local piece. There was a local guy here, John Bianchi, and I think originally down from Pennsylvania, and just one of those like stereotypical old timers that would come in. We have certainly a cast of characters that come here and apparently try to send us faxes while we're doing the live stream.
It's sort of like the shop, sort of like our grandpa.
A little bit, yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. Just guys that
Just a great guy.
would come in, they would maybe hear somebody was having some trouble or had, something gone wrong. He'd get us a pizza or something, just like one of those kind of guys. Anyways, several years ago, he had brought these in. This is it's based off a 1903 Springfield Action, and a absolutely massive barrel extension and barrel. I mean, that's like 1.125 or, looks a little bit over an inch, but that's some thick barrel. This is a 308 target rifle. It's got I don't know what you call that, Arco rail. Isn't it?
I
Or
think so.
An older version maybe of that.
Would you like me to get the sibling to that one?
Custom, sure. Yeah, that'd be awesome. Custom, I don't know what type of wood that might be.
Maple, maybe?
Yeah, but absolutely.
It's wood.
Yes, identifying wood. Yes, it's wood. Absolutely just gorgeous gun. It's got to weigh 20 pounds, 18 pounds, something like that. Absolute just tack drivers. So Johnny, Johnny was one of those guys. He would come in, and we've got a couple guys like this. Jack is the same way. They'll come in and they'll, bring a gun by, and I don't really want it, but I like them, and I got a soft spot for them, and they'll trade me the gun, and then a month later they'll come back with another gun. We just keep almost like an open account with these guys, and they traded us a gun once, and we just keep trading that same gun back and forth, and it is what it is. So we made a trade. I don't even remember what we traded for, but he had both of these rifles, and they're cousins, brothers. This one's made off of a Model 70 Action, and it's got this Unertal scope on it. They were both, at one point, they both had scopes on there. Super old school, amazing for the time period scope on there. Both of these are 308s. These supposedly were made by a World War II veteran down in Pennsylvania. The guy was a World War II sniper. I think his name was John Henry Smith. And Johnny way back in the day, probably in the 50s or 60s, had commissioned him to make these rifles for him. And I've shot this one. I have somewhere.
Oh, you have?
I have about 50 rounds
Nice.
of reloads of specific, like
Cool.
very detailed notes. Like, this is the recipe. If you make these bullets for this gun, they will shoot like a dream. And they do. I mean, we've only got 25 yards here, but they just stack right on top of each other.
It says it shoots one hole out to 500
Yeah.
on the tag here.
Is that what it says?
That's what it says.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. John Henry Smith. Yep. One whole group's up to 500 yards. So pretty cool. I guess this one I'm keeping. It's in the museum. This one's for sale. I at one point had that out for a lot more than $750.
It was out for $9.99.
Yeah. So $750 for, a certainly custom, one of a kind, piece of history. Might be a little bit of a stretch, but pretty cool rifle. Maybe a project for someone. You could certainly shoot it as it is. You need a scope on it, but yeah, that's what this is.
Definitely a bench gun.
Oh yes, yeah. You're not going to take that out in the field.
You're not stalking with that gun.
No. What else we got over there?
Marianne asked if we are still doing toys for tots. And
Yep.
we do have the bin down in front, but I don't know too many details.
Yeah, so I do want a disclaimer. It's not technically toys for tots through the Marine Corps, but it's the same idea. It's a toy drive by CJ Country. So we've talked them up before. We love working with John Canale and the whole team down there. We've been working with them for years and years now. Oh yeah, just a great local, radio station in an era where almost every radio station has been bought out and is a giant corporate monstrosity, right? CJ, they are still just locally owned, Western New York. If you like country music, they're the ones to listen to. I tend to enjoy it sometimes. I have to be in the right mood.
We holding hands up? It's that part of the show.
But yeah, please bring in your new unopened toys. This year it's going to be, I think, tougher than ever for a lot of families for the holidays. So if you're in the position where you and your loved ones' needs are met, go down to, again, maybe try to go to a local toy store like Adam Miller's in Batavia.
Yeah.
There are others in the area, maybe like the Liftbridge Bookshop up in
Sure.
Rockport. There are tons. I know it's so easy to go to like Dollar General or someplace like that, but really, like this year more than ever, try to shop someplace small, someplace local.
100%. I agree.
And bring down your gifts. Shameless plug. We also have gift cards. We have gift cards every year. We're doing the same deal we did last year, which is buy a $50 gift card and you get an extra $10 for free.
25 for 20.
Sorry.
60 for 50. 120 for 100.
Yeah. So, spend a little and get a lot, basically.
And
So
we do them over the phone all the time, guys.
Yes.
We can email them, so we can send them digitally to you guys.
We can email.
I'm not very good at that, so if you get me on the phone, just ask me to print it off and send it snail mail. I'll do it that way for you. That's much better. No, I'm kidding. But we can send them out snail mail as well if you'd rather have the physical, actual, certificate in a nice envelope and all that stuff.
Yeah, for that we charge an extra $1 just for the stamp and the extra work.
There you go.
But
yeah, I've done a bunch of those just today for folks, over the phone and stuff like that. So
Dan Brumstead's gonna get $1 million. He always gets. Another one for Dan Brumstead. Oh, geez. No. But let's go back to the red bin here. It's not just like for toys. If you want to buy somebody a new, coat, or something, or some nice warm socks. Like you could do that as well. So
Yeah, so toys are great. Obviously, kids love to get toys, but keeping somebody warm in the wintertime.
nice new coat for
Right. Yeah, that could be potentially more important. So,
somebody that doesn't have one.
for sure.
I just got a live update from Tyler's mom. I
Cool.
asked them just, for a little, how's he doing? And he's actually doing very well.
Good.
And he has been very awake and alert the past few days. It's tough. I mean, he's running a marathon every day, trying to heal his body. He has had a lot of motivation to get into rehab now that he's, done with surgeries and whatnot. And he's been like up and like doing stuff all day. He hasn't just been laying down, resting. Yeah. So cool. I just got that just now. I thought I'd share.
Good.
So
Miss
cool.
that guy.
Yeah. That's
Yeah,
great to
seriously.
hear. I can't wait for him to be better.
Can't wait for him to come back to work.
Yeah, seriously. Got some shit to do.
All right. Quick question from Jeremy Schultz. He's just curious if you guys have any idea, specifically, like let's say an Anderson barrel. Do you have any idea how many rounds of 5.56 need to go through before you consider replacing the barrel?
10,000. I mean,
Yeah.
any 5 digits, right? Like
Yeah.
a lot.
And I bet it would take it would take, again, to be fair, even
To
someone
be
like
fair.
myself, I think it would take a lot of people a long time to even notice
Right.
that their group was opening up. It's a hard thing to really, I don't keep track of how many rounds I shoot. I doubt you do.
I don't
You
keep
probably
a round
should.
count. If anybody should, I probably should, but I don't keep an accurate round count on
Yeah.
any one of my guns.
I tried to keep a round count when I got my 43.
Yeah, it's tough.
I lost
I'm
so
just not
much.
that type of person.
Yeah.
Some people are. God bless them.
And it depends on
Go ahead.
depends on what you're doing too, right?
Yeah.
Like if I'm looking for my Anderson AR with the 16-inch barrel to shoot at 600 yards, well, that has to be a tack driver, right? Because 600
Right.
yards is pretty much maxing out
Right.
that 16-inch barrel. So I'm going to notice my accuracy starting to degrade much sooner in that gun than I would notice with a gun where I'm doing more like SIG Academy patrol rifle instructor type stuff.
Sure. Yep.
Right.
Yep.
So depending on what it is that I'm doing with the gun, that's going to have a lot to say about my barrel life as well. Right. If I need the gun to be at its maximum accuracy potential, then that round count is going to look significantly smaller than a gun that I'm like, is this thing key holding bullets all over the place yet?
Sure.
You know what I mean?
Sure.
Because for some guns, like as long as the bullets are stable in flight, I'm good with it.
Yeah. With the range and the rental AR-15s, I'm sure we've had some closer to smoothbore rifles.
For
than,
sure, but they'll still shoot groups.
We've
of
got some
25 and stuff.
5.57s, I
Right,
think.
yeah. But they'll still shoot groups.
Yeah, for what we're trying to do, Yeah.
Bodies.
Yeah,
They
100%.
would. They
Right.
would.
So yeah, it depends on what you need the gun to do.
Nice.
Oh, we still got some more.
Let's
We're
keep-
definitely winding
keep
down.
'em
Let's
going.
keep them rolling. Yeah.
Rapid fire time.
This is
Lightning
definitely rapid fire from John, Duncan, or Tim's.
I'm honestly not that picky about that
Yeah.
shit. Whatever's closest. Honestly,
Yeah.
I'm
Couldn't care.
So-
less.
I'm not that picky.
Tim Hortons is a Canadian company,
Right.
So Duncan.
Pat's not a big fan of America's hat, as he
Yeah.
calls it.
I do not like America Junior or Snow Mexicans or none of the above. Right. So
I don't care.
Yeah.
I like hockey. so,
Convenience. That's what I enjoy about those.
Yeah,
those
I don't-
places. Yeah.
I'm not like,
against
like
Mexicans.
Coke or Pepsi. I
Yeah, okay.
don't care.
Throw it in my face.
So next one from John. This is actually a pretty good one. I'm sure a lot of people have had this question is, how do you secure your gun in your car if you have to, say, run into the post office or some other place where you cannot carry legally? Especially because he's having problems where his truck's getting broken into on occasion. So how can you secure it as safe as possible?
Nice.
Something with a tether, something bolted to the vehicle.
Yeah, I was going to say there are companies out there like Sentry Safe, right? Sentry Safe makes a very, very small one gun type safe that has a little combination lock on it. And it's a 3-number combo. And it comes with a security cable and you can tether it to your vehicle. I got one for like $25.
Yep.
Right. And that meets the requirement for what constitutes secure storage. Right. So understand that here in New York State specifically, if I was to take my pistol and chuck it in my glove box, even if I lock my glove box up, somebody comes along and steals that handgun, you know who's criminally liable for that? I am. Because
you will
I failed.
lose your permit.
I will lose my permit, right? Even though the gun was under lock and key, because guess what? The glove box is not considered a safe storage compartment because it's not specifically designed to store firearms and protect them from unauthorized use. So in order for the gun to be considered stored securely and protected from unauthorized use, as you're required to do, it has to be secured in a specific locking device, all right, that is designed for firearms and that is secured to the vehicle. And if you fail to do any of those things, you are as wrong.
Don't say it.
You're wrong.
So there's multiple companies. I think there's one major one, but you can get a safe that goes in the center console that is molded specifically for your make, model, year of your vehicle, so that when you open up your center console, there's a safe door right there, you know, like with a key or some kind of thumbprint reader. I just posted a link to them.
Neat.
They're fairly pricey, you know, like $200 or $300, but they go right into your center console.
Right.
You don't have to mess around with anything, you know, like under your seat or, you know, like around your, you know, like seat.
Right.
You know, super easy. Just lift it up, you know, like type in the code, or else, you know, just turn the key. Gun goes right in there. Close it up. You know, easy.
Right. Another method that I've seen used, and I'm not necessarily saying that this is good or bad. You guys, I guess, help me decide if this is good or bad. So what would happen if I took a set of handcuffs, which some of you may own handcuffs. I know I do.
Whoa. Is
So
April watching? No.
April is aware of the handcuffs. Okay. So, but I have some handcuffs, and if I wanted to take the firearm and actually put the handcuffs through,
Cole got turned on a little bit by that.
of course he did.
You were talking about handcuffs.
Why wouldn't he?
Restraining innocence.
Dude, there's one thing he loves. It's locking people up and putting them in bondage.
Oh, yeah.
So we'll go ahead and download the handgun, right? And then we can take our little handcuffs and we can go right through the frame of the handgun, and we can go right around our seat as well. And then if I want to steal your handgun and run off of it, well, I need bolt cutters or I need a handcuff key, right?
Could you make the argument that that wasn't designed?
100%. It's not designed for that specific purpose. And yeah, if your gun gets lost or stolen when you're using it in that manner, you may be subject to some criminal liability there. However, have I taken an active step to prevent somebody from stealing
100%.
my firearm?
Yeah, 100%.
Would it be would that be an unreasonable, step to take, or would a reasonable person do that if they didn't have access to the other method? I would say that something that a reasonable person could potentially do.
Probably think you're a cop too. Be like, oh shit.
Yeah, I'm not going to break in. There's handcuffs sitting right there. Do I want to end up in some handcuffs?
Guy's freaky,
right? No, but I'm just saying, it's an option. I'm not saying it's the way. I'm just saying it's a way, and you guys take that for what it's worth. Don't do it in your glove box for sure.
I keep my gun actually at the bottom of a box just full of sex toys.
Sure.
Thumbtack.
Just reach in there. I don't know who's been handling all this stuff. Yeah, absolutely.
Good Lord.
Stinks. Safe.
I love it. Good deal.
Oh gosh.
Well, we still got some more.
Let's hit them.
So these should be fairly.
Got to make up for last week.
There we go.
He says, how can we, as in those watching the stream, nominate y'all for an enemy? Your stream is far more knowledgeable and interesting than Governor's daily nonsense.
Aw.
Thanks, buddy.
Appreciate it.
Another comment from him is that
I feel like
you
I'm
guys should
just
reach out
spitting
to
nonsense.
Sticks and Stones. They have a fully operational 20 millimeter L39, I believe it's pronounced Lottie.
Lottie. Yeah.
Cool.
I'm down for that. That'll make my Barrett look like a little 10-22.
Right? Yeah, 20 mil is.
Carry that at the next rally.
So Jesse did make a thing, something like, with your handcuff suggestion, obviously you want to make sure it's covered because you don't want people seeing it.
Yeah, if it was like
Because
under
that's
the
gonna be a
seat,
big
right?
Target.
But yes.
Yeah.
But yeah, I would say that's like, it's better than nothing, right? If you happen to own a set of handcuffs. And if you don't own a set of handcuffs, get some.
Fur or otherwise.
Versatile.
Fuzzy or otherwise.
Rick Standish asks, I believe they're Tika rifles, T-E-K-A, any good?
TIKKA.
Yeah, TIK. Yeah, I don't know about the other guys, so probably not. The Finnish Tika ones, though. Yeah.
Very nice.
Yeah, Tika T3s and stuff like
Fantastic.
that.
They're owned by Beretta,
Adam.
right?
They are imported. Well,
I think they're owned by Beretta.
no, yeah.
I think like
They are.
Sacco
Yeah.
and
But they're like a
Beretta,
separate,
all-
yeah.
They're all under the
Very
same-
well regarded, very light.
fantastic rifles. Yeah.
And they're in use like with, civilian hunters and stuff like that, but also like law enforcement and military units throughout the world. And they're great in cold weather and all. They're Finnish rifles, right? So if there's one thing that Finland is known for, it is making exceptional rifles.
I think they have a 1/2-inch MOA guarantee.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're incredible.
All right, next one should be a fairly quick question from Ron, not Rick Standish.
Yeah.
Any chances of getting 43Xs in the near future? You see, we have 43s here, but not 43Xs.
Trying. No idea when we're gonna get them. Unfortunately.
Everything being
Unfortunately.
Trying.
Just buy the 43 and then get an extended mag.
There you go. That's what I do.
Same thing.
That's what I did.
Just
Essentially.
not silver.
Yeah.
All right, now
Which the silver ones are hard to find now, anyways.
Yeah.
from Rick Standish.
Yep. Going back and
Getting
forth.
Hammered.
He was asking what kind of scope you're using, Pat, to shoot 600 yards with the 5.56.
Iron sights.
You don't want to know, okay? Because if I told you, you wouldn't believe me. I have witnessed this man hit a 420-yard steel target with nothing but a hollow sun red dot sight.
Just the dot, man. No, realistically, if I was going to shoot at that 600-yard target we were talking about earlier, I would definitely need like a 1 to 6 power scope. But honestly, no fooling, 100%. You can make hits at 400 and 500 yards with a 13.7 inch gun, and guys have seen me do it.
Right. Yeah. That's not
And
even a
not just
16
me
inch or a
doing
20
it.
inch.
Yeah.
That's a, yeah.
13.7 inch guns.
Yeah.
It
With
is
a red dot.
documented, no magnification,
Seen
4
it.
1/4.
4 times in a row.
So it can be done, right? It's steady position and
I saw it happen.
it's trigger control
Yep.
and breathing that makes that happen. It's not the
And-
optic.
And, like knowing a little bit about like holdovers and holdovers.
Yeah, you got to have some general idea of where you're, and having a spotter helps, right? Because I did throw that miss initially, and Dan was looking down his scope, and he was like, "Hey, you're a little high."
Oh, okay.
on
You
the
didn't
scope."
say you had Dan as a spotter.
No,
So that's cheating.
I miss Dan.
That's cheating.
I still
I
gotta
call
press the
bullshit.
trigger,
That
right?
doesn't matter.
Now we got to
No,
bring
he's
Dan
spotting.
into this. Now I'm going to cry.
If Dan was there, you were guaranteed a hit.
That's true. Otherwise, he would have just spit at the target and hit it.
Well, he would have just been like, "Oh, you pulled 23% too much on your trigger finger in the northeast third quadrant. Just dial it back." Like his advice is just like, "This is exactly what you did wrong.
Yeah.
Just fix it."
He knows.
And that was just, he saw one. Not chemtrail. What do you call that? Is it
I miss that guy.
Vapor
so much.
trail.
vapor trail? He'll like just watch your vapor trail and be like, "Yeah, you did this." Like, how the fuck did you know that?
Dan,
Oh.
come back.
Any more questions?
Yeah, a couple. One quick shout out.
Whoop, whoop.
Shout out to the very tall man working the counter last Saturday. Didn't catch his name. Super friendly and helpful. That sounds like Darnell to me.
There's only
Darnell?
one super tall man that works here.
Cowboy hat?
Sounds about right.
Didn't mention the cowboy hat, but most likely.
If he's tall, oh Jeff. Jeff is tall.
Might have been Jeff.
It could have been Jeff.
Doesn't
Could have been
sound-
Jeff.
Probably not though. Probably not. probably not.
So, quick question from Chris Woods back on talking about the scope that we're giving away in the stuff tomorrow. He's kind of confused. What do you mean it comes with rings?
That's how you mount the scope to the rifle itself. So generally, when you buy a scope, it does not come with the rings for it, which this one does, which is really handy. I don't know why more scopes don't come with the rings. I guess because you have to match but generally, you want the lowest rings that will clear the objective.
Most
So,
people,
like,
that's most people's advice.
You
yeah.
know,
You want to get that scope as tight as you can to the barrel without it
Yeah.
actually touching.
well, so you might need different ones depending on your application, but generally,
And they're not the best rings on the market.
probably not. No,
You know,
but this isn't the best scope on the market. You know,
Right.
it probably matches it very well. But yeah, I would say probably for 90 to 95% of applications, like you could buy a bolt action rifle off the wall and put this on it, and it would just work out of the box.
Oh, yeah.
Which generally, when you buy a scope, then you also have to buy rings, and that's a pain because there's
maybe bases too.
True.
Yeah.
There's a million different kinds of rings, and you can get very confused. And especially, I mean, I've done it here. We have a whole selection of them, and I'll grab the wrong ones, and it's a pain.
I was going to say, how many times have any one of us standing behind
Yep.
here grabbed a set of low rings and then been like, God damn it, I need medium rings.
Yep.
Or
I've
even
even
grab the
grabbed-
highs and then you're like, oh, I could have used mediums.
That's so much space
I've-
there. Yeah.
I've grabbed 1 inch when I needed 30 mil.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
That's the worst, too.
Now there's 35 mil scopes out there.
What?
There's
So much light.
yeah.
Just gathering all.
All right. Well, a couple more. We're actually winding down, but still a couple of them coming in. Zachary asks Glock 19 or 43.
For what? I guess I would have to know.
Yeah, I
What's-
need more. I need just a little bit more. For me personally,
Yes.
Yeah.
I want
Well,
the 19, and I'll tell you why I want the 19 instead of the 43, right? Because if I ever move to a free state, then I have the option to shove 15 rounds up in that monkey, right? The other thing, too, is if we're talking about a defensive handgun, when I'm reaching for my defensive handgun, that means I need something that I can win a gunfight with, right? Not necessarily I'm not trying to live. I mean, I am trying to do that, too. But I want to dominate, right? And I want to win that fight decisively. So I want a Glock 19 because that is a fighting handgun, where a 43 is like a keep you alive handgun,
mhm.
right? So
All right. Jesse asks if there's anything new on the GMRS front. Yes, there is, but I don't know how much we want to get into it here.
Yeah, we can touch on it for sure. So the radios, he's asking about radios. We've, for those of you that know, we've gone pretty far down the rabbit hole with emergency and kind of backup communications. So just to give a quick pitch on that, back in, I want to say April, we partnered with a place in Attica, and they have a repeater. Well, they have a tower, and we put a repeater up using their tower. And basically what a repeater does is exactly what it says. It repeats. So if you're used to using like walkie-talkies, you and your buddies are out there hunting, you got your walkie-talkie, that walkie-talkie might go a mile if you're really lucky, probably more like a half mile, right? Like walkie-talkies have always kind of sucked. With a repeater, you're now, instead of talking from the radio to the radio and all the stuff that's in between you, you're talking from the radio to a tower that, okay, I can't see the tower, but it's up there. And where it is, like where we are now, the store, I think, is at like 600-ish feet of above sea level. The Attica Tower site, I think, is 1750 above sea level, and there's a 250-foot tower. So we're over 2,000 feet up in the air. So the radio can talk to the tower very easily. And maybe you can drop some links in there to the website, the Attica 575 website. But you can look at a coverage map. But for our one repeater, anywhere between Grand Island, like out in Buffalo, and I would say Canandaigua, you can hear and you could talk to somebody else using just a simple walkie-talkie. I should say
It's
a simple,
pretty big coverage.
It's a
man.
massive coverage.
How big is the coverage?
It's the biggest. Really,
Enormous.
it's enormous. But it really extends the range of a handheld, right? So GMRS is something that you need to get a license for from the government. Keeps it organized. If you go onto the website, we're going to link here in a minute. There's links to do all this off of there. But basically, you figure out who in your family would make the most sense to get the license. And I'll tell you why, because it covers everyone in that family except for cousins. So
I
in-laws,
didn't know.
nephews, it cover, which is such a weird thing. Cause again, if you break out your family tree, like your cousin Al, right?
Yeah.
He's not covered by your license, but
Told him he was.
if get this though, if your dad had gotten the license, Al is your dad's nephew,
Right.
and nephews are covered. So it's so weird. That's what I say. You got to kind of look at the family tree and be like, oh, if this guy gets it, everybody's covered, or
Yeah.
more people are covered, But it's $70 for 10 years, right? So $7 a year. Your entire family is covered, and like I said, it includes in-laws. Literally, the only family that it does not cover are cousins, which is so weird. It's such a weird thing. Yeah. So you get your call sign, your whole family's good to go. There are free repeaters in certain areas. They're not as good as ours, of course.
Obviously.
But once you get that license, you can join our repeater, which is $10 a month, super cheap. And again, that covers your entire call sign. So that might be 20, 30, 40, 50 people that are covered all in that one. It's not like per radio or anything like that, right? And now you can talk to anybody between Buffalo and Rochester that's also has one of the radios that we program. We have back in the beginning of September, we opened a second repeater on top of the Xerox Tower downtown Rochester. What's
I
that?
was going to make sure.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. So that one now, with Xerox Tower being 400 some feet up above the ground, that's the tallest building in Rochester. That just dominates Monroe County. Absolutely dominates Monroe County down into, I would say, as far as like the Dansville area.
Wow.
Just covers an enormous, again, swath of coverage that if you've never used a radio in that aspect, it really just changes things. I had only ever used up before like March, I had only ever used like walkie-talkies and those like Baofeng radios, right?
Yeah.
And they suck. And it's because like with a firearm, if you just take a gun out and with no instruction, you go and you just blast a bunch of ammo and like, I didn't hit anything. Like, these are stupid.
Right.
Well, it's not that it's stupid, and it's not that you're stupid. You just don't know yet. You haven't been trained up. So with these, it's an incredible system. It really takes your communications game to the next level. As we know, our cell phones are not the most reliable things. In the case of a natural disaster or civil unrest or who knows what might happen,
Controlled by the government.
Literally, yeah, governmental control. I mean, if the government wanted to, they could shut all these phones off just like that, And I don't like that. I like to have other options. So this is a great secondary option. The other kind of hidden benefit is, since it's our project, a lot of the people that are doing this, I would say most, if not all of the people that are doing this, are Second Amendment patriots and activists and very just like-minded people. We all have very similar values and goals and stuff like that. We are, I don't know exactly when, but sometime relatively soon in the next few months, we'll be opening up a station on Bristol Mountain, which that coverage is actually bigger than Attica. There was a measuring contest and we measured them, right? And it's bigger than Attica, and it favors the east, like how Attica covers from Buffalo to Rochester, Bristol covers from Rochester to Syracuse.
Damn.
So now we're going to have this network of repeaters, and they'll be all linked together. If you want to learn more about this, go on to here. We've got so much more information on that Facebook page and on that website. I don't want to take up too much more time tonight, but if you enjoy having a backup form of communication, look at what we're doing on our radio project, and I think you will like that. I don't know if you had anything you wanted to add.
Just a quick thing, you're talking about emergency type communication. You forgot to mention that these do have redundant power sources. So if we lose grid power,
Good point.
stay online.
Yes. Yep. So yeah, there's a generator on site, and for temporary power outages, we have a power supply on them, right? So it only goes out for like a half hour. You wouldn't even know it. And we don't actually have it like installed, but everything's prepped if we needed to put up like a solar system. We have all the panels, we have everything we'd need.
Sweet.
If things really like went bad and there's a generator with a tank there that would run for weeks probably, but if it didn't, we can get this thing running long term. The only other thing I was going to mention was A lot of people ask if this is like ham radio. It's I don't want to say the same idea, but ham radio is much more for like, I would say, the individual who wants to learn about radios and experiment with them and play with them and really learn like how they work at their core. The only problem with ham radio is you have to take a test. You have to pass a test and get that license. And then say like your family, you've got the wife and the kids and stuff. If you guys want to talk, all of you have to get licenses.
Right.
So you can imagine like if for some reason, say Evan didn't study and didn't get his license, you know what I mean? And now everybody's talking, so that's the nice thing about GMRS. You don't get the cool ham benefits like talking all over the world and talking to different countries and stuff like that. But you get the license, your entire family can talk, and you get it within a day. There's no test. There's nothing. You pay the government their fee, you get the license. So that's a quick radio pitch.
Yeah, and just real quick on that, if you have a ham license, it does not cover you GMRS and vice versa. They have two different licenses, two different sets of requirements. So I'm both. So you do need both.
Yeah. Nice.
So another quick question, any buck barrels for an 1100 12 gauge or 20 gauge?
I haven't seen any barrels come through.
No barrels whatsoever.
Yeah. We generally only carry like used barrels. Barrels have always been weird. Barrels are weird. Yeah. I would highly recommend you buy a combo. If you're thinking about buying a shotgun, if you can, buy it from the factory with both barrels because it's way cheaper.
I would check on Numeric or even eBay.
Ooh,
eBay, you can buy that stuff.
That's a good point.
Right on eBay.
Good point. Just buy a new gun.
Okay, a couple more here. Are there different types of pistol permits for Monroe County other than concealed?
No.
I think there was the option at least a while back for, like possess on premise.
So that's
but you would
a
have
concealed
to
carry permit, right? So technically,
You have to
guys,
specifically ask
you're right.
Ask for that.
So let's talk about pistol permits for a second, because I think that's a really valid point. I've been asked that question a bunch of times, right? So all permits within the state of New York, guys, are concealed carry permits, right? The differences are what types of concealed carry type activities are you authorized to do. So for like my specific license, I have an unrestricted pistol permit. That means for any and all legal purposes, I can carry my firearm in any location where I'm authorized to so do. And I can do so for any lawful purpose. Some folks out there have a sportsman's permit or a restricted permit or a permit that allows them to engage in specific activities, right? Like target shooting, competition, hiking, fishing, hunting, etc. But you're restricted in the sense that you can only possess and carry the firearm when you're on your way to or on your way from those specific activities. So those are some of the differences between like a restricted versus an unrestricted permit. Now, in some counties, like in Monroe County, right? Generally speaking, if you ask for a permit and you're not very specific about what you require or what you're requesting the permit for when you're filling out that application, you may receive a restricted permit when what you really were petitioning the government for was an unrestricted permit, right? So it's important that we understand how to address those questions when we're filling out those questionnaires. So for like the classes that I teach here, I generally say, if you're looking for an unrestricted permit, guys, the things that you're going to want to put on your permit include words like concealed carry, right? So I would make sure that you specify for concealed carry on your permit. What I don't recommend is that you put words like for personal protection or for self-defense or for anything of that nature, because we can get into some word games there. Well, if you're looking to defend yourself, what do you perceive that you're in danger? Because that's what the police are for, kind of thing. Or, for personal protection, well, what do you need to protect yourself from? Right? Kind of deal. Or, self-defense. Well, defense means that there's somebody on offense, right? So like we could get into some of those kind of things. So I recommend generally that people specify that they're looking for the permit for, target shooting, yes. Competition, yes. Hunting, yes. All good to put on there. Exercise Second Amendment rights, absolutely. And concealed carry.
I usually tell people to put for all legal purposes.
For all legal purposes. Yeah, that's another, because that's very like For
Yeah, don't
anything
put
that I'm
too
allowed
much.
to do,
Don't
right?
like write them an essay
Right.
for that.
For anything that I'm allowed to do, I want to be able to do that with
Yep.
my. So there you go.
All right, another one. Michael asks if there's any machining and custom parts features for the pin.
You know, we want to, and then we start sitting down and like thinking about it and what it would entail, and it's none of our specialties, you know. And it's one of those things that the devil is certainly in the details with that. Again, like with another question, I'm certainly not opposed to it. Like I'm not going to say, no, we will never do that. But we just have to find, I guess, the right thing to do. You know, there's a lot of people with a lot of great ideas, and you can have a really good idea and maybe the market's not ready for it yet, or they don't understand it, or it's not done right, you know, and now you've got hundreds of thousands of dollars tied up in machinery and this and that. So I would say at this point, like we have no plans to do anything like that, but I certainly would never outright say we're never going to do that. One thing we've discussed maybe is doing some Cerakoting or maybe some engraving. Maybe that would be some of the things we get into, more of like customizing what you already have, you know, type of stuff. I don't know if you guys had any.
In terms of like parts, like custom parts was one thing that kind of stood out to me in there. And I was thinking about some of the other like All-Star Tactical, right? Those guys are awesome. And they have some parts the Scarpman Arms has some different stuff, right? That is more proprietary to them and stuff like that, with like their Glock slides and whatever. And I think some of that stuff is super neat, right? But the thing is I don't have a design background.
Yeah.
I know these guys don't really have any design or engineering type backgrounds. I know the things that I like about specific types of products, but I don't know how to take something
Sure.
that already is in existence and make it better.
Sure.
To the point where it's something that you would want to invest in, right? And spend your money on. So yeah, I'm more of like an end user type guy than like an idea type guy.
So if you make stuff, send it to us and we'll break it.
We'll just,
We'll tell you how to make it better.
right. Yeah, no, I can help. Like I would be comfortable like being a member of a team,
Sure.
to kind of help
Right.
somebody, you know, figure that stuff out. But in terms of like designing something myself, I can't make something that's that much better than whatever else is already out there.
And there's
right?
so many things already out there.
Right.
You know,
Like what can I do
it's
that's so
so
much better?
hard,
Yeah.
You know, like how many?
It's a pretty saturated market.
Oh, it's tough. Yeah.
How many charging handles can there
Right.
possibly
Oh my
be?
gosh. Yeah.
How many different
you know,
slides do we need?
How many Glock triggers?
Right. Yeah.
This AR bolt release isn't quite right. Let's fiddle with it. No.
And then it's, you know, if you start playing that game of finding like, oh, well, nobody makes stuff for this gun. Well, there's probably a reason. There's not that many of them,
Right.
you know, and there's all of the, you know, say there's a
Yeah.
million of them. Well, how many people would actually buy that thing or
Right.
whatever? Yeah. It's tough.
Well, we got, I think basically two more questions and one quick kind of funny suggestion.
Okay.
Jeremiah is asking if we're thinking of doing an ugly sweater stream this month.
That'd be fun.
I do have an ugly sweater that is gun themed.
Yeah. Is it
Yeah.
the ho 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 one? I can't remember.
No, mine just has like a bunch of like ARs. And
Oh, okay, yeah. I know. I've
Yeah.
seen it in my head. I couldn't picture it. I like that idea. I'll have to find an ugly sweater.
I was gonna say I don't have
I
it.
don't have one.
Now I have to get one. I mean, I'm not averse to it, but I need time. Maybe
See what we can do.
the last live stream before Christmas would be on Christmas Eve if we were going to do one. So do we have any intentions to do a live stream on Christmas Eve?
I don't.
Probably
I'll be
not.
with my family.
Sure.
I know you.
Yeah.
No, you guys will too. Sorry, I like my family more than you guys.
So yeah, I guess no, because we just don't have
Just
enough
have
time.
your wife knit us something. It's quick, right?
It's fast.
Yeah,
Right?
I'm a
so bad.
2X.
Sure, she could knock those out. Really.
I like green. It's
Why don't we just give this to Jeremiah? he's always.
fine by me.
He's always involved with the questions, and he really helps out with the stream. I do appreciate
All right,
all of the assistance.
Jeremiah, you won the scope.
You're the winner, buddy. Good job. We figured out what you had to
Now
do.
you have to buy a gun to put
You
it
have
on.
to be Jeremiah.
All right, we got one more question?
Last question.
Yeah, I think this is the last question. Apologies if I missed somebody, but it's been a very busy stream again tonight. Jesse was asking about if you guys know for Erie County, if it's like a year that you have to have a restricted permit, then you can petition to get it unrestricted.
I don't know that. I've heard that. I know
No,
Genesee
sure.
County, it used to be 5 years of having a restricted permit, and then you could ask for an unrestricted.
Before Judge Zambito became the.
Right. I hate to send you somewhere else to ask, but Steve might know that better. You might want to like the 2A New York State Facebook page
Yep.
and then send them a message.
That
and
would be a
ask.
great.
Just because we're not from, you know what I mean? I just don't know off the top of my head. And unfortunately, it's very much on who the judge is. If the judge puts that requirement out, and that's one of the, we have a lot of complaints about New York, but a big complaint we have about New York is that every county is slightly different. Their processes, their culture, just everything is a very disjointed system where, a judge has quite a lot of power in a very day-to-day way that I don't think other states, that's a weird, so, because literally in New York, like if you went out to dinner and you just got, or like if you got into like a road rage argument with a judge and like you're Pat from the firing pin, aren't you? Like, guess what you're losing tomorrow morning? Like you could have done nothing wrong, but if he just saw you and you bump shoulders accidentally in public, like, hey, fuck you, buddy. Like, well, fuck you too. Like, like, all right, well, see your permit. Like, it's completely at his discretion.
But the same thing applies to when you actually submit the permit application, right? Like the judge.
Absolutely.
The judge could look at your permit and he could say, "Wait, how many permits do we have out there right now in the county?" And he could look up the number and say, "Holy smokes, we have that many Nope, no more."
Turn it off. Yeah.
Right, and just like I'm not issuing another permit, and it's his discretion.
You could do
He's
that.
the judge.
Yeah. Noonan, for a long, long time, Judge Noonan in Genesee County, you could only have 10 guns?
Yeah.
And you had to ask him if you could have more handguns. Like, ridiculous, you know?
Like,
absolutely crazy.
What do you care? What does the number
Why does it matter?
even matter, right?
Why are we wasting the taxpayers' time on any of this stuff?
Yeah. Unbelievable.
So
go ahead.
One I did miss, and I did want to bring this up, is Zachary is asking if there's any quick updates on Polar Wave. And
I would say no, unfortunately, nothing quick. We're still just chugging through the process. When I have updates, you will hear them. Don't worry. It's all positive. We're just working towards that goal.
When there are updates, you guys are going to see me on here like dancing around, like
you're going to
crazy.
hear them.
Yeah, you'll know. You'll know before the live stream. Trust me.
You'll feel them
through the force.
Yeah.
That's basically it.
All right, guys.
Nice. Buy a calendar.
Buy a calendar.
$20.
You can buy them online. For those of you that are watching out of state, you can buy them online. Go to our website, store.thefiringpinny.com. I believe, unfortunately, you'll have to pay some shipping charges, but we will send it to you. We'll send you a sticker, and not one of those stickers. We'll send you a firing pin sticker with your calendar. But if you live in the area, $19.99, you can have yourself a beautiful 2021 calendar and look at our shining faces every month.
If that's something you're into.
I got to show off Dan's. Dan's is just the best.
Dan's is the best. I miss that guy.
He's too fun.
My buddy.
All right. Great live stream tonight, everybody. Thank you so much. Have a great night.